And in child's pose, you can let the knees open up if you'd like a little more space. And with that sweet exhale, start to feel your body land into your mat. And simply begin to connect with the breath a little more fully. And just imagining your lungs like a balloon start to fill up from top to bottom, from side to side, and front to back. Remembering that the breath keeps you buoyant throughout your practice. And as you continue to connect deeply, we allow ourselves to receive the power of the breath. The prana, the life force, and bringing in the vital energy we need to heal ourselves, to re-energize. And then we start to tap into Ujjayi. Slow flow this morning. So I offer you really begin to lengthen out that inhale and that exhale. And finding the equal parts of breath and the short pauses in between. And then bringing the palms to touch overhead as we bend the elbows. If possible, bringing the thumbs towards the back of the neck. And we find this devotional posturing as we cultivate intention this morning. What brings you to your mat? What thoughts do you want to have that serves your highest good? And whatever it is, connect that with a high vibrational feeling. Gratitude, love. And then we'll gently begin to rise up through all fours, right into cow pose as we inhale, uncurl that tailbone, draw the chest forward. Exhale, curl your tailbone under and round your spine. Breath in, chest and heart glides forward. Exhale to curl and round. One more time, inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat. Coming back through the center, finding your neutral spine, extending your right leg back behind you. Start with the ball of the foot on the floor. Press through your heel. So let's start to just stretch the back line of the body. And shift your weight forward on the inhale. Exhale to press your heel back. Breath in draws you forward. And breath out to press back. One more time. And breath out. Shifting your weight forward, go ahead and pick that right foot up, place it to the left side of your mat. And then walk your hands over to the left as we gaze behind us. Feeling sensations in the outer hips. Continue to press through your back heel, energizing your leg. And then we walk the hands back to the center. We bring that leg back into alignment. Moving into spinal balance as we lift that right heel up off the floor, pressing through as we reach the left hand forward. Bringing your biceps in alignment with the ears. Start to scoop in the belly. Big breath here. Exhale, draw your limbs in and round your spine. Inhale to reach and extend. Exhale to pull in and squeeze. One more time. And breath out. Inhale to reach and hold. And then into awkward airplane as we take that left hand over to the left side of the mat and take your right leg to the right side of your mat. Holding there. And we come back through the center, inhaling. And we lower and release, exhale. And child's pose, sinking those hips down. Rotate your wrists out as needed. As always, child's pose is an option for you to come down to your mat at any point in practice. And then we'll rise back up, right into all fours. Inhale into cow pose. Belly softens, heart glides forward. Exhale, curl and round. 2 more. Harnessing the power of the breath. 1 more round here. And breath out. We come back to neutral spine as we gently extend the left leg back behind us, ball the foot on the floor, pressing through your heel. And then a couple rounds of breath as you shift forward and press back. Eventually shifting forward, pick that left foot up, place it to the right side of your mat, and then start to walk the hands over to the right as you gaze gently behind you. So seeking the length of the breath, equal inhale and exhale. And doing that throughout your entire practice, no matter how big or small your movements or posturings are. And then we bring the hands back to the center. We bring the leg back into alignment, into spinal balance as we lift that left foot up off the floor. Your hands can remain here or the right hand reaches forward. We take that inhale. Exhale to draw your limbs in and round your spine. Inhale to reach. And breath out. 1 more time, inhaling. And breath out. This time we reach and hold. Once again, engage your core. And then taking that right hand to the right side of your mat, taking your leg to the left. Breath in brings you back to the center, inhaling. And lower and release, exhale. Child's pose, hips drop. Letting the forehead melt to the floor. Rock your head a little side to side. And then we'll rise up for a puppy dog stretch. So you're somewhere in between a down dog and a child's pose. Gently walk the hands forward a bit or scooch your knees back. Gazing gently up as you melt the chest down towards the floor. Now, some of you keeping your gaze up and just imagining the throat touching the mat. Otherwise, just tuck the chin, let the forehead soften. Spreading your fingertips wide, grounding down through the hands, all the way to the edges of your fingertips. Feeling a slight lift in the armpits, the melting of the heart. And the next inhale, we rise back up. Downward facing dog on the exhale. We lift the hips up and back. Start to wiggle out a bit, pedaling your feet, swaying the hips. You can shift forward into plank or kneeling plank and just explore a bit on your own. Now, any point down dog is too much. You have your child's pose. Any point moving through high to low push up through chaturanga is too much. You have the option of cat cow. And then we're all going to go through a slow chaturanga dandasana. Finding your way into down dog if you're not already there. Really settle into down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. The heels descending, tops of the thighs drawing back. Keeping your arms really active. Hips up and back. Inhale, we shift forward into plank or kneeling plank. Now take a moment to just hold here. We press into the mat. You want to feel a slight rounding in the upper spine, and then just soften in the heart a little bit. As you take the sternum forward a couple inches past your wrist, inhale. Exhale to gently lower down in 3, 2, all the way down to the belly on 1. Uncurl the feet, hands are underneath the elbows, squeeze those elbows in tight, like grasshopper arms. We inhale, press the pubic bone down, press the tops of the feet down, lift the chest for cobra. Exhale to gently lower, gaze in either direction. Breath in, we rise back to the center. And breath out to gaze opposite way. Inhale to the center. Exhale to gently lower. Curl your toes. Press through your heels. See if you can get really active in the legs. On the inhale, we push ourselves back into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale back into down dog. Okay, this round is smoother transition. Inhale, we shift forward, plank or kneeling plank. Breath out, Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low push-up. Cobra or upward facing dog. If you're an upward dog, just the tops of the feet, hands on the floor, thighs are active. The exhale takes us back into downward facing dog. The hips lift. Checking in with your breath. We continue to harness the power of the inhale. We feel that sweet release on the exhale. Gently walking or stepping your way to the top of your mat. And once you arrive, go ahead and just start to shake out your hands or shake your head no, shake your head yes. And sway side to side. You can interlace fingertips behind your back, stretching the front of the chest, shoulders. You can also interlace fingertips at the base of the skull, creating traction for your head, neck. And bending the knees one at a time. And then eventually we release the hands to the floor. Take your peace fingers, wrap around your big toes. Inhale to flatten out the spine, straightening out those arms, looking forward. Exhale, bend your elbows. Let them wing out to the long side of your mat. And then we start to melt the chest on top of the thighs. Let the crown of the head start to drop towards the floor. Once you have that, press into your feet. Start to lift your hips up. Regulating your breath. You start to feel the sensations in the entire back line of your body. And then we soften the shoulders, we release the grip. Slow roll your way up, bending the knees a whole lot. And then imagine a pulley on your tailbone as you gently rise one vertebrae at a time. Let your chin come up last. As we take the shoulders up to the ears and then gently roll them down and away. Again, shoulders rise up to the ears and then gently roll down and away. One more time. We're going to move through Sun Salutation A. We'll go nice and slow, bringing your feet together to the top of your mat. So a little space between the heels. Start to feel the energy rise up in your body. Start to open up all the channels of the body with a big inhale. Breath is in and up to the crown of the head. The exhale down and out the body. Here we go. Inhale, sweep those arms up towards the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Flattening out the spine, inhale. Exhale to fold back down. Plant the hands into the mat. Inhale to step back, plank or kneeling plank. Exhale to bend your elbows, leaning forward. Lift your chest, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale is downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Feeling the energy rise through the hands, lengthening your lifeline, your spine. The exhale, feeling the heels descend. Next, inhale, you're going to step or hop to the top of the mat, right into your halfway lift as we extend through the spine. The exhale, forward fold. Breath in brings you back up. You press into the feet, sweep those arms high. Bringing the hands back to the heart center, exhale. Again, inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale to forward fold, Uttanasana. We flatten out, inhale, extend through the heart, fold back down, breath out. Plant the hands in the mat, step, hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana, inhaling, and then exhale to bend your elbows. Lifting your chest, cobra, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, breath out. Few breaths here. Keep your eyes focused. Keep regulating the breath. Next inhale, we step or hop to the top of the mat. Lengthening. The exhale lets you fold down. Bringing those arms back up. Inhale. Hands to the heart center. Exhale. So we're doing Ashtanga Series A. Traditionally, there's 5 rounds of sun salutations. We'll do 3 more. This time I'm going to give you option to jump back, so there'll be a slight change. Otherwise, just stick with that same routine, adding as many breaths as you need. Exhale your breath, let every drop go. Inhale, we take those arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Here's the change, halfway lift, inhale. Step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana, exhale. Moving through your mini vinyasa. Remember, you have options through cat-cow, you have options through child's pose. Always responding to your body's needs. Meeting back in downward facing dog, remaining there for a couple breaths. Continue to feel the hips draw up and back. Melt the heart a little bit more. See if you can straighten out those arms more. Beautiful. One more big breath in. One more breath out. Next, inhale, looking forward, step or hop to the top of your mat, lengthening through the spine. Exhale to forward fold. The inhale brings you back up. We press into the feet, rise all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart center. Inhale, arms rise, warming up the entire body. Exhale to forward fold. Halfway lift, flatten out. Step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana on the exhale. So there's a slight retention in breath as you move from high to low push-up. And eventually we all find our way into down dog or child's pose. Take a few soothing breaths there. Eventually, next inhale lets you step or hop to the top of your mat. The exhale lets you fold down. We'll bring those arms back up. Inhale to the heart center. Exhale. Here's our final round. Breath in, we sweep those arms high. Breath out to fold. Halfway lift. Step or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Breath out. Next inhale, we'll step or hop to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale to fold down. We'll bring those arms up. On the next breath in, we rise. And exhaling, Samastahiti, state of equal stance and bliss. Moving on from here, remembering your intention from earlier, we press our palms together, connecting right and left brain. We feel the shoulder blades glide down the back, heels descending, heart rising. Inhale, we sweep those arms back up to the ceiling. Mini back bend, drawing the hands back, opening up the chest. Now, you can also bend the elbows if that helps. Keep your tailbone dropping down. Let the opening come from your upper body. Inhale, we rise back up to the center. Exhale into chair pose, sinking those hips down. Slight tuck of that tailbone, scooping in your belly. Big breath. And exhale to forward fold. Flatten out the spine, look forward. Stepping your left foot back on your exhale into a lunge. We find length here. So bringing the hands in alignment with your right foot. And then if you have a little more space with that back heel, just scooch it back. Take the heart forward more, holding here. Energize your legs. So scissor the legs together. Left hand stays on the mat. We'll take that right hand up towards the sky. And then really press into that left hand to spin the chest to the right thigh bone. One more inhale. Looking down, exhale. We walk the hands over to the long side of the left side of your mat. Wide leg stretch posture. Pressing in through the outer edges of your feet. Feel the inner arches lift. Noticing where you're feeling the sensations in the body. And we'll bring those hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll inhale to flatten out the spine, gaze gently forward. Walking the hands back to the top of the mat on that exhale. Warrior two is next. We'll adjust our footing, heel to heel alignment. Next, inhale, we rise up, Virabhadrasana B. So once you have it, start to settle in a little bit more, feeling the optimal alignment for your body. And then taking that gentle gaze past your front fingertips. We're strong and stable, alert and relaxed. And we'll do a flow here. On the inhale, we'll straighten out the legs, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the hands through the heart center into warrior two. Again, breath in, reaching up. Breath out, hands through the heart, warrior two. Last time. And exhale through two. Pausing here. We'll take that front palm up. Next inhale, reverse warrior. Letting your backhand tickle down the back of your leg. Now, if you can, see if you can bring that front knee a little bit more over your heel, over your ankle, and keep tracking it over that second and third big toe. Big breath. Exhale into your side angle, bringing your right arm on top of your thigh, and then start to sweep that left arm overhead. Once you have that, spin the lower belly open towards the ceiling. And I want you to start to feel your psoas waking up on that right thigh. So imagine lifting your right knee up off the floor or your right knee towards your elbow more. Next breath in, we'll rise back up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down, stepping back, down dog or child's pose. Option chaturanga, shifting forward to plank or kneeling plank. Exhale to bend your elbows, lifting your chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale takes you back through down dog. Checking in with your breath, regulating, noticing the texture. The breath tells us how we are being in any given moment. Your next inhale, gently looking forward, step or hop to the top of your mat, and take as many steps as you need to get there. The exhale lets you drop back in. We bring those arms back up, inhale, and palms together to the heart center, exhale. And pressing the thumbs to the center of the chest. Same procedure, second side. We'll inhale, sweep those arms up to the ceiling. Chair pose on the exhale, sinking down. Great way to strengthen the knees, work our back, engage core. Now, same thing here. So as you sink those hips down, I want you to imagine straightening out the legs without moving. Press into your feet, big breath. Exhale, hands through the heart as you forward fold. Flatten out, look forward. This time stepping the right foot back on your exhale. We're in low lunge. Now remember, we're not just sinking into the joints here. I want you to engage your muscles, engage your core, squeeze the legs gently together, lengthen through the spine, big breath. Right hand stays on the mat, left hand reaches up high. Keep that bottom wrist light. Big breath. On your exhale, releasing the hands as we gently walk the hands to the long side of the mat. So going to the right side of your mat. And then once you arrive, just simply drop back in. Now, this is a good time for those of you that have an inversion practice. If you'd like to go up, you can go ahead and take those legs up. Otherwise, maybe explore a little bit more here. You can walk the hands to the right and left side of your mat. You can interlace fingertips behind your back. So everything we would normally do in a forward fold, you can explore here. Really tuning into your body's needs. And just a couple more breaths. We'll all eventually meet back in our forward fold. You'll bring your hands back underneath the shoulders, flattening out the spine, big breath in, walking your hands to the top of your mat. So I'm going to look a little different just because of the positioning of my mat. And once you arrive, we come into our warrior two stance, spinning your back heel down, left foot is forward. We inhale to rise all the way up and then settle back in Virabhadrasana B. So look at your hips here, just start to level them out a little bit more. Notice if your knee starts to cave in, just keep sending that knee back out to the pinky edge side of your foot. And then using the intelligence of your breath, and settle in. When the breath, body, mind is in harmony, there is an increase in vitality. And there's an increase in this inspiration. We're naturally inspired to be creative. Let's begin our flow. Palms up, inhale, reaching up to the sky, big breath, straightening out the legs. Exhale, hands going through the heart, warrior two. Again, breath in to rise, and breath out, hands through the heart, warrior two. Last time. And exhale, warrior two. Holding here, softening the shoulders, front palm up, reverse your warrior, reach up and back, letting your right hand just tickle down the back of your leg. And once again, maybe challenging yourself to sink into that front thigh bone a little bit more. Big breath. Side angle on your exhale. Left arm on top of your thigh, reaching your right arm overhead. And once again, see if you can just spin the lower belly open, press through that back heel from your core, feeling that length from the back heel all the way to your fingertip. Next breath in, we rise back up. Cartwheel your arms down, exhale through your down dog, through your chaturanga, or even child's pose. So taking that variation that you need, taking your time with the breath for those of you through flow. If you're in stillness, again, really power up through your breath. Taking this time to recharge and re-energize. We all eventually come back down to the knees, right back into your cat-cow. And last time through, your exhale will take you back into your downward facing dog. Now, if you're in child's pose, you can still start to walk yourself towards the back of your mat. So we'll go ahead and start to find our way to the back of the mat. Letting your heels drop, you're in your forward fold. Peace fingers wrap around your big toes once again. Inhale to flatten out, gazing at the top of your mat. The exhale to wing your elbows out, melt the chest down. And a familiar pose from earlier, noticing if it feels any different. And can you create more depth just simply through the breath, through this awareness, through being super present. One more breath here. And exhale, we soften the shoulders, we release the grip. Bending the knees a whole lot again. Here's our roll up. Go ahead and rotate those wrists out on the way. And we'll draw the shoulders up to those ears and down and away. Again, shoulders up to those ears and down and away. Last time, breath in and exhale down and away. Okay, so we're going to move into balancing pose. This is our free flow balancing pose. So I'll talk you through it, but it's whatever shapes and movements, postures that feel really good for you in this moment. So we'll go ahead and just ground down first. We always want to feel some element of mountain pose in our balancing postures. We press into the earth. We're upward reaching at the same time as being grounded. And we start to shift the weight and step that right foot forward. Start to dig your heel into the floor and then start to find that right foot as base as you gently lift your left knee up towards hip height. So let this be the starting position. You might stay here or you start to move. So you can go up and down, side to side, forward and back. You can just move the arms around. Sometimes just a shift in gaze can be a challenge. Maybe even just closing the eyes. Ooh. And it's okay if you fall out. It's okay if you fluctuate in the body. Balancing poses are about the mind. We want to feel a sense of stability through the mind, and the body will follow. If you need to reset at any time, you can lower and then come back when you're ready. We'll all eventually start to find our way back to that starting position. Left knee lifting, extend your leg forward, squeeze, squeeze, and then lower that leg down, stepping gently forward. We go right into our second side, start to shift that weight. Start to feel that sense of pressing into the earth to rise up. Right knee starts to lift to hip height, and then moving in your own way, in your own time. Perhaps you're staying in one posture this whole time, feeling that sense of stillness and ease. Maybe you're exploring that space around you, exploring your yoga island. Beautiful, you guys. Looking so strong. Love all the different shapes. And we'll all eventually come back through. We'll go ahead and bring that right knee back to that starting position as we extend that leg, squeeze, squeeze, and then lowering your foot down, walking your way mindfully back to the top of your mat. Bring the hands back to universal prayer. Can you feel the beating of your heart? the air on your skin. On the next inhale, we'll take those arms back up to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Flattening out, inhale. Exhale to forward fold. Planting the hands in the floor, stepping back, downward facing dog. You have your option for chaturanga here, shifting into plank or kneeling plank. Exhale to bend your elbows, lowering down. Remember, cat-cow is also an option for movement. Lifting the chest, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And dropping down to those knees, finding all fours. We'll take the right hand up to the sky. Rotate your wrists out. Inhale, stretch the fingertips, stretch the hands. Exhale, threading the needle, sliding that right hand underneath you. Your gaze can go past your fingertips or forehead can come down to the floor. Now, some of you even option to drop on down into more of a child's pose. And our next breath will bring us back up into all fours as we switch sides. Lifting your left hand up towards the sky, rotate your wrist out. Taking a big stretch, inhale. Exhale to thread the needle, dropping all the way down to your shoulder. And any variation you'd like to play with here. And then we come back up to the center. You're going to lower yourself all the way down to your belly. You can move through a chaturanga or gently lower down to your forearms first, and then just find your way into your mat. Go and come all the way down and just let your forehead rest into your hands. Letting the big toes touch, letting the heels open up. And then we'll go ahead and start to bend the right knee. Reach back with your right hand, grabbing a hold of your foot, your ankle, and then just draw that heel in towards the glute. And then keeping that grip, go and extend your left arm forward. We'll exhale the breath. On the inhale, start to kick into your hands, start to lift your limbs and lift your gaze. So your hand and your foot can remain on the floor here, or you can start to lift those limbs. Exhale to lower and release. Bringing your head back to your hands, taking rest. Wiggle out those hips a bit. And then we'll go ahead and bend that left knee. Reach back with your left hand for your ankle, foot, or even pant leg. And you just draw that heel into your glute, feeling this stretch in the quad, front of your thigh. And then we move from this quad stretch to back strengthening to knee strengthening. And we reach that right hand forward. Exhale the breath. On the inhale, kick into your hand and lift. Rolling that left shoulder back. You can lift your limbs here as well. Take your gaze slightly forward. Lifting up the chest. 3, 2, and lowering down on 1. Release. Hands to your forehead. Wiggle out your hips. Our third round, 2 options. You can extend the arms forward, legs back, and just think of Superman, Superwoman pose. Or you can bend your knees, reach back for your outer ankles into full bow. We exhale the breath. Inhale, we start to kick into the hands, we start to lift the chest. Otherwise, you're reaching the legs forward, or the arms forward, rather, legs back. Try to stay still. So as you breathe in, you're still breathing all the way to the bottom of the lungs, feeling the belly expand into the earth. And the exhale, we lower, releasing hands to the forehead. Bend your knees, windshield the legs to the left and to the right. And then releasing those legs down. Go ahead and bring the hands back to the chest. Push yourself up and back. Child's pose or down dog for your counter posture. Stretching out, neutralizing low back, spine, glutes. And we'll eventually find our way down into a seat. So go ahead and just swing those legs forward, making your way into Sukhasana or any variation of Sukhasana. And we'll go back into shoulders. As you find your seat, let the hands just rest on your knees. Then we'll start to roll those shoulders up to those ears. Exhale, roll them down and away. And breath in to rise, breath out to soften. One more time. And exhale. And bringing your hands to your shoulders, we'll roll the elbows back on the inhale. And then exhale, elbows coming forward, tucking the chin, rounding. And breath in. And breath out. And one more time here. And exhale. Go and come back through, release those arms. Just shake out the shoulders. We'll go ahead and open up those arms. Inhale, reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale to bend your elbows into cactus arms. Feel the shoulder blades gently glide down your back. Then we're going to go ahead and bring those elbows in front of us, crossing one elbow above the other. Backs of the palms can touch or double bind in your hands. So we're in eagle arms, Garudasana. Fingertips up towards the sky. Gaze is through the hands. You can lift your elbows up gently to shoulder height. You can gently move the forearms away from the face. And then we're going to go ahead and just imagine the hands turning into a paintbrush. And we're just going to start to create a big circle with that paintbrush. Now, if your hands aren't or your arms aren't in a bind, you can just start to circle your head around and do some neck circles. And going the opposite direction whenever you are ready. I'm seeing the color red. I don't know, maybe something came to you. And then eventually we come back through the center. We all unravel those arms. Just remember which elbow's underneath. We inhale, reach those arms back up to the sky. Big stretch. Exhale to bend your elbows, drawing those shoulder blades down your back. And then we cross the elbows once again, opposite elbow underneath, finding your bind or any variation. Remember, it could be a lovely hug for yourself. And we hold. We breathe space through the back of the heart. And then imagining that paintbrush again with your fingertips or with your nose, and then slowly start to draw a big circle. Eventually going the opposite direction. Helping to create the mobility in the shoulders, lubricating the joints. And then eventually we all arrive back to the center as we unravel. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, this time hands through the heart center. Go ahead and spread your wings wide again. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, gathering all the energy back to the heart. Palms reaching up to the sky, inhaling. And we release the hands, exhale. Let the energy fall around you. We'll do that exact same thing. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the ceiling. Harness the breath. Exhale, hands to the heart. We expand our wings, open up the chest. Exhale, gather the energy to the heart center. Palms going back up to the sky. Inhale. And then let all the energy fall around you. Exhale. Take a moment here. Let the hands, the palms rest into the floor. As you press into your seat, again, we're always upward rising, upward reaching. Close the eyes and just notice how you feel. Notice the subtle way the breath fuels you up, energizing every cell in your body. And then we'll go ahead and start to extend the legs out. Go ahead and tap your knees out, rotate your ankles, point and flex your feet. And then we'll go ahead and keep the right leg extended. Bring that left foot to your inner right thigh, head to knee pose. Now just imagine that left knee spreading out more, pressing down. We reach those arms up, inhaling. Exhale, 3 rounds of breath. The breath in brings you back up. The breath out lets you fold. One more time on your own. Eventually the hands can soften, the shoulders can relax. And then go ahead and gently rise back up. We'll keep the left knee as is. You're going to go ahead and just bend your right knee and just take that leg over to the right side of the room. So you're in a mermaid's pose or a variation of it. You're going to walk the hands over to the left and then keep twisting. So you're just going to walk the hands towards the back of the room or back of your mat and gaze gently behind you. And then you can come back around to the center. You're going to stay here in your seat and then option to just lean back a little bit. You can lean back, you can come down to your forearms. Now, I want you to really take that right hip forward a little bit more. Keep pressing the knee down to the floor. See if you can feel a deeper sensation in the front of your thigh, internal rotation of that right thigh bone. And once again, Harness the power of your breath, the intelligence of your breath to bring in what you need, to release that which is no longer of service to you. Through the breath, we have the power to control this divine process, that integration of mind, body, and spirit. And then we'll all start to gently soften the hips as we rise back up. Left hand is your base, half circle. We start to lift up in those hips. A similar sensation, just a little more muscle engagement with the glute. Big breath. And then we lower ourselves down on that breath out. Beautiful. This time, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Take a big breath here, pressing the feet together, and the breath out lets you forward fold, chest towards your toes. You can just relax your head. You can also use your elbows to press into your inner thighs. And then we'll go ahead and come back up. This time extending that left leg forward. Head to knee pose, second side. 3 rounds of breath as we inhale, take those arms up. Exhale lets you fold. So you'll do 3 rounds on your own. On that last round, you can let the shoulders melt from the ears. You can close the eyes and just feel. And then go ahead and gently make your way back up. And we'll lean over to that right hip and just bend your left knee, taking that heel over to the left side of the room. So you're in a mermaid's pose or variation of it. And we'll just take the hands over to the right and then just continue to walk the hands behind you into a twist. And then bringing yourself back around. You can go ahead and gently lean back on your hands a little bit more, pushing gently that left hip forward. So you're still rolling that thigh bone in. Squeeze a little bit more in that left glute. Some of you coming down to your forearms. Otherwise, just remain here. Our yoga classes generally have a lot of external rotators in the thigh, the opening of the pelvis. So this is a great way to counter that. You might feel a little bit more in the top of the hip, top of the thigh when we do internal rotating postures. And then eventually we can all gently rise back up, softening as you come up into your seat. Excuse me, half circle is next. Right hand is down to the floor. You can start to push into the mat as you lift those hips up. Slight back bend. And then gently lowering yourself back down to the floor. And then finally, we'll lean back, bring those legs forward this time. Feet are mat distance. Just do some wipers here, side to side. And I'll give you 2 options for a forward fold. You're either just extending those legs to the top of your mat, or if you want to go into plow, you can go ahead and just take the legs overhead. They're exact same pose for the most part. It's just a different way of utilizing our weight. So if you're in your seat, find your sits bones, take a fold. If you're moving into plow, I trust you know your way. Legs are going overhead. And we just melt down. If you're in plow, you're gonna do the same thing to engage your legs. So pressing through your heels, feeling the back line of your body stretch and lengthen. If you're in your seat, continue to melt the heart forward towards the toes. The down takes care of itself, especially with a consistent practice and letting go of the results. And if you're in plow, you'll go ahead and start to bend your knees and gently roll onto your back. Those of you in the seated variation will gently rise up. We'll all bend those knees and we'll find our way down to the floor. Okay, and then just take a moment here. We'll all bend the knees. Feet are on the floor, hip distance apart, crossing your right ankle above the left knee. You can stay right there and gently just press the thigh away from the chest or bring the legs in towards your chest, interlacing wherever it's comfortable for you into figure 4. You can also straighten out that bottom leg. You have full pigeon variation, taking your right hand, grabbing hold of that ankle, drawing the shin bones on top of each other. So there's a lot of things to play with even in figure 4. And so it's so great about the practice of yoga. The yoga meets you where you are at. And eventually we come to a shift where we begin to rise up to the yoga. It's so beyond the postures. And a few more soothing breaths here. And go ahead and gently release, unravel any movement you need. They'll shake out, circling the knees around. And then to your second side, whenever you're ready, left ankle crossing above your right knee, legs can come into your chest. And just simply enjoying the sensations. And a couple more breaths here. And then eventually finding your way into a little movement, wiggling, walking on the ceiling. And then we'll go ahead and open up the legs, happy baby. Imagine you're squatting on the ceiling and the shoulders are heavy. The thighs are grounding down. And we'll go ahead and release happy baby. Draw the legs together, lower the feet to the floor. Gently roll your way to one side of your mat. And then just bring yourself up into a seat just for a moment while we're seal our time together before coming into Shavasana. And we'll do our chanting our 3 ohms. Even if you're not ohming, you'll still benefit from feeling the vibration, even if it's just through your thoughts. So the sound of Om is a 3-part sound, Ah, U, M. And I invite you to find your honorable seat here, opening up once again the lifeline of your body, your spine. We bring the hands together in universal prayer. And in your mind's eye, bring a vision of something that really brings you a lot of inspiration, lots of joy, spirit, love. It could be a word, it could be a phrase or an image. And let that guide you in your ohms. Let's exhale the breath, let every drop go. We'll ohm with this inhale, fill in and up. Taking a moment to feel the silence. And if you would please go ahead and find your way into a lying down posture for Shavasana. If you prefer to be in meditation during this time, you also have that option to just remain in a seat. Otherwise, I offer you really take advantage of this time to just be and just to lie down and enjoy being with yourself fully. And so I'll be guiding you through about a minute or so, and then I'll leave you to your Shavasana, remaining for as long as you'd like. This is the time when our bodies, our mental body, our energy body, our spirit body can really absorb all that work we've just done. And when there is the integration, when there is the harmony, there is yoga. So my dear, dear friends, beautiful souls out there, even if you're practicing alone, know that you are not alone. You are so loved, deeply loved. Allowing your body to settle in, letting the vital energy flow through your body, receiving the breath fully, and exhaling completely. And be free to love who you are in this moment, in all ways and all ways. I am so deeply, deeply grateful for each of you. Thank you so much for being. I leave you with love and light. I leave you with power and with peace. Please stay for as long as you would like. Namaste. Om.